all who are present. On behalf of the board and Superintendent Flint, we appreciate your involvement with our school district. The second board meeting of each month is dedicated to a work session where members of the board, the superintendent, and select members of the cabinet discuss important topics related to student achievement and effective operation and management of the school district. To ensure our work session goes smoothly, professionally, and efficiently, we ask that everyone maintain an appropriate level of decorum at all times. Please abstain from any conduct that would be disruptive or disrespectful. We ask our students and families and those who joined us this evening to remain until all acknowledgments and board comments have been made. Thereafter, we'll take a short break to dismiss those participating in that portion of the meeting. At this time, if you would silence your cell phones or other communication devices. Again, thank you for attending our work session, and we look forward to a very productive meeting. At this time, I'd like to call upon Harvest Point Fellowship Church Senior Pastor Chris Norris to lead the IRA.
Would you pray with me? Heavenly Father, we come before you tonight grateful for the opportunity to serve our community, to serve the students that make up these schools and the families that they represent. Lord, we thank you for the privilege of education. We thank you for the dedicated teachers, leaders, staff of our county who give of themselves to guide the next generation to a future that is yet unknown. Lord, we ask that you would grant wisdom and discernment to every person who's gathered here, and we ask that every discussion will be marked by respect, by cooperation, and by a shared desire to do what is good and what is right. Lord, help us to listen with understanding, to speak with grace, and to decide with integrity. We ask, God, that you would bless the students that are in the care of these educators. May they grow not only in knowledge, but also in character and compassion, that they would be excellent citizens of this great land in which we live, and to influence the world for generations that will follow after them. Lord, we ask that you would let this meeting and all that follows be done in a spirit of unity and of service that honors you and strengthens our community. In your holy name we pray. Amen.
Thank you, Pastor. Next, we are privileged to have the 4-H presidents of Evans Elementary School present to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. And if our students, our 4-H presidents will come forward at this time, I'd like to introduce y'all. Come up to the front and just right in front of me, right? And turn around, and then when I call your name, if you'll take a step forward, and if you have any family members here, if they'll stand, and then after I introduce all of them, we'll give them a round of applause. Benin Aldani, Rebecca Cho, and Madeline Nesbitt. Give them a big hand. Our 4-H presidents will turn to the flag, and if everyone will stand.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
This time I'll entertain a motion to approve the agenda.
Make a motion to approve the agenda.
All in favor, raise your hand. All opposed? That's approved. This time I'll turn it over to our superintendent for special recognitions.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and good evening, board members, and good evening to everybody, and thank you for joining us. We're glad you're here, and we're looking forward to celebrating with many of y'all. We have a number of special recognitions for the board this evening. I'm going to ask at this time Mr. Cummings if he'll come forward to help me, and then I'll be able to give out the award. So again, congratulations, and thank you for all you do in support of this school district. Mr. Cummings.
Good evening. We're excited to begin our special recognition this evening by spotlighting Georgia Department of Education State School Superintendent Woods' 25-26 Student Advisory Council selections. Superintendent Woods selected 79 Georgia students from 1,235 applicants to serve on his Georgia Department of Education 25-26 Student Advisory Council. Throughout the year, these students will meet with Superintendent Woods to provide feedback on the impact of state policies in the classroom. Members of the State Student Advisory Council will also discuss other education-related issues, serve as superintendent ambassadors to their respective schools, and participate in service projects to benefit students, schools, and students. Superintendent Woods says, this council is about hearing directly from students, the ones experiencing our schools every day. These outstanding young leaders bring experiences and perspectives from every corner of our state, and their viewpoints and ideas will guide our work, ensuring we stay focused on what matters most, supporting every student's success. We look forward to learning from them and working together throughout the year. These students also are members of Dr. Flint's Student Advisory Council. So when I call your name, students, we ask that you would come forward, and we have family members here to support you. We ask that you stand and be recognized as well. Our Columbia County School District representatives are Iris Overton. She's a senior at CVA. Unfortunately, Iris is not able to be with her this evening, so we're going to ask her advisor, Ms. Tiffany Lesser, to come forward, and her principal, Mr. Brian Killips. Our next student is Vishyash Ayathan, junior at Evans High School. Principal, Mr. Wade White, will come forward as well. Congratulations to our newest state student advisory members. You done before?
I'm going to talk about the next award, but let me also say we've already had our first meeting with our student advisors, and every year they bring a great perspective, and this year is no different. We had a great meeting. Thank you for being a part of that, and we're looking forward to all of our student advisors giving us input as we go through the school year. Our next special recognition is our Columbia County Retired Educators Association. It has become a tradition in the state of Georgia for the first Sunday in November to be designated as Retired Educators Day. Sunday, November 2nd, we will celebrate and recognize more than 145,000 retirees all across Georgia for their lasting contribution to our state and definitely in our county. Notably, we had the honor and the privilege of recognizing our very own retired educators at our recent retirement reception, which is an annual event held each year to thank our dedicated educators. The governor of the state of Georgia, Governor Kemp, has just signed a proclamation as well, and I'll be giving the members a copy of that, as well as recognition from our school district and a certificate. So we thank you all for coming this evening. I'd like to this time call the members of the Columbia County Retired Educators Association forward so I can present them with this information so we can take a picture, and we surely support your continued support of this school district. Thank you for all you do. We are sharing the love this evening, and at this time I'm going to call our Chief Human Resources Officer up front to help me with the last recognition. Very special.
Good evening. Lily Gibson, please come forward. I told her I was getting an award tonight. That was the only way we could get her out. I told her I was getting an award, else she wouldn't have shown up. Tonight we honor an extraordinary member of our school district family, Miss Lily Gibson. For more than 50 years, Lily has dedicated her life to keeping our schools clean, welcoming, safe, and ready for learning. Since 1975, Lily has served in various schools, departments, and since 2006 at the district headquarters. She has served with unwavering pride, reliability, care, and always putting students and staff first. Having personally worked alongside Lily for the past 23 years, what makes her truly special isn't just her decades of service. It's the joy, positivity, and great attitude she brings with her every single day, and it shows in everything she does. Her always cheerful spirit lifts those around her, and her dedication sets an example for us all. Lily, your 5 decades of service are a testament to your hard work, and it is a privilege to recognize you with this remarkable milestone. On behalf of the Columbia County School District and Board of Education, congratulations and thank you for your service.
They'll be tomorrow.
Excellent. That is so deserved and awesome that we can celebrate that. We just have some brief comments and then we'll pause. Let me start with Ms. Judy Teasley this evening.
Well, we'll start with Ms. Lily. That's not often that we get to acknowledge the efforts of someone who's been giving her best for 50 years in a row, but we are very grateful, Ms. Lily. Outstanding, good job. We expect to see you here tomorrow to begin your next 50 years. Keep up the good work. For each residents, we thank you very much for your leadership. Looking forward to great things from y'all in the future. And those of you on our advisory council, we're counting on you to keep the folks in Atlanta straight, starting with the state school superintendent. So not a small job, but good luck doing that. We appreciate your efforts. And obviously, I have a soft spot in my heart for the Columbia County retired educators. I would like to give you an update on what they've been doing and what they have planned, but I won't spend any time talking about silent auction on November the 19th. It'll be right here in this room, so you're all invited. And other than that, thank you all for all your efforts in this room. We appreciate it. Please keep up the good work. And thank you all very much for your efforts here tonight. We are blessed. We are blessed.
Thank you, Ms. Teasley. Mr. Kent.
Thank you, Pastor Morris. Senior Advisory Council, congratulations, great honor, and like Ms. Stevens said, keep Superintendent Woods straight, don't be shy. It's really important that you speak up. It's not about just getting pictures up here, which is really nice, but you were picked for a reason. You're super smart people, and we want you to represent well on that board. Congratulations again. Retired educators, congratulations. Any 4-Hers always enjoy having you on here. That's it then.
Thank you, Mr. Kent. Ms. Baker.
I echo everything Ms. Teasley and Mr. Kent said, but I'd like to just add a few things. To our 4-Hers, thank you for your leadership in your schools, and we do appreciate you did a great job up here, and I know it can get nervous up here, but y'all did a great job. So we know you're super leaders at your schools, and look forward to seeing great things from you. To our student advisory seniors, thank you for all that you do in being leaders in your schools. We'll see you probably in December. I think y'all come down in December. We'll see you then at the convention. So we look forward to seeing great things from you. And like Mr. Kent said, you're the voice for your students. So make sure you make some changes and or advocate for your students in your schools. We do appreciate that. So good job. And to Mr. Phillips and Mr. White for having those students picked from your schools. That shows your leadership as well. So thank you for what you do, going above and beyond. To our retired teachers, and Ms. Teasley, she didn't say she's a retired teacher herself, so thank you for all that y'all do. It's a gift. I truly believe that teaching is, along with healthcare, which I'm in, is a gift. And thank you for your calling and giving to students. And I know when you retired, you didn't stop teaching. So we know you're involved, and we appreciate all that you do and all the dedicated hours you gave to students and their families. So thank you. Lily, where are you? If Leanne was up here, we've been sobbing and crying. So thank you so much for all you do for us. I mean, I've been on the board for quite a while, and you are always a smiling face that I see, and I do appreciate all the laughs, the smiles, the hugs, just all that you do for us. I always know that you're there and can count on you, so I appreciate everything you've always done. So I call you friend, so thank you for being my friend and all that you do for this county. Thank you.
It's hard to top all that. I'll even try. But great job for your students, for your leadership, student advisory council. It starts, young, and the next thing you know, you're being chosen for an advisory council. So it's really amazing to see the leadership at all levels. But I want to tell the parents thank you behind the scenes, because I know a lot of behind these students are hardworking parents working to make things run in the household, getting children to practices and helping with homework. And so thank you also to the parents, but to the teachers who do that mentorship role. I feel like it's so much, students really are kind of what we see, but there's the team behind them. But I also want to say thank you to the Retired Educators Association. Thank y'all for all you do and for your years of hard work. And we all aspire to be like Lily, where we can look at 50 years of service and just really be amazed. It doesn't come to 50 years. It may feel like it flew, but I'm sure Lily could probably tell you certain days that she remembers that weren't necessarily the easiest days. And for those days especially, thank you, Lily. Thank you to all our administrators and teachers, parents and students when you hit those days that just make it really rough to give that best in you and that service, and you choose to keep going and keep working hard for what you're doing. Those are those days that really matter, and those are those days that get you to those 50 years. I'll say 50 years, not 5 decades. That sounds a little rough. Thank you, Lily. Thank you, administrators, for all your work. Thank you, teachers. Thank you, parents. And thank you to the citizens of this wonderful community.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, really appreciate y'all coming out and letting us recognize you and honor you and celebrate you. It inspires us to do the work that we do. This time we'll take a pause if anyone would like to excuse themselves.
wait until a following meeting, but we'll come back and recommend approval at a future meeting.
All right. Is there any discussion with regard to these proposed policies?
I did have some discussion on IF, instructional resources, and this might be something that you can help provide more information. Is there flexibility with the wording that was provided in this draft policy?
We do. You as a board can make adjustments to that. Typically, we'll use their wording. There was one area in there that was a little bit confusing. We ran it by legal and just simplified it. It means the same thing. So we already made a little bit of an adjustment, but it didn't change the content of what it meant. So some of the time that happens in the state recommended verbiage, and maybe it doesn't fit our county. And so we make some adjustments like that. But I think, Mr. Van Meter, that's the only change we've made from the recommended, right? Okay.
I would just highlight, if we do have flexibility, I'm really, really grateful that we've gotten these updates and we're kind of opening the door to this discussion, because I would love for us to have kind of a really deep discussion about what we're doing to protect student data. Because one of the changes I did see was we went kind of from our original policy that has 4 paragraphs of very specific instructions of PII, and it seems that the kind of recommended verbiage puts that all together and just puts kind of a blanket paragraph, prevents the unauthorized disclosure, use, and dissemination of PII regarding minors. It kind of seems like it was less specific with the new verbiage versus the older verbiage, so I think that would be kind of a good conversation to have.
I'll just make a comment to that, and then Mr. Enmeter can talk as well. In some of the policies that we've updated the last couple of years, we've been careful to remove some of the requirements that are in law, and so there's a specific law related to that, and we don't have to restate it in policy. And so a lot of that you're talking about is found in, was it House Bill 351? So that was placed in the law, and then we put in policy what was required around board policy. But we're required to follow the law because it's a little higher level of expectation since they put it in that verbiage and not in the policy. So that's probably in this one. And you can speak. I know you've worked on this one for about a year or so. But
a lot of it goes back to the shall and mays that are included in either shall do this or may disclose this. There's a lot of it. And so a lot of this just becomes more generic, gives us a little bit more flexibility to protect our student data.
And I think kind of really what's driving all my questions on this specifically is Common Sense Media had done a study recently, and Education Week is where I found the article about it, where they found that 3/4 of apps and computer programs aimed at children actually had kind of loopholes in the way their contracts were written to where they were technically legally compliant with not sharing student data, but written in a way that allowed them to then share student data and profit from it. And so I'd like to, and I'll share this article with you afterwards, but go ahead.
We do use, through a company, we use a vetting process called Trusted Apps, and they vet those policies,
Okay.
and protection policies.
Good.
And so when there's an application that comes through us, it gets that not only by us, but by also a third party.
That's great. Well, thank you. I'm glad that y'all are already ahead of the game on that. Good. Well, thank you.
All right. Any other discussion on these policies which will lay on the table? We'll have opportunity to discuss them further. I'm going to take it up again at the next meeting, Dr. Flynn?
yeah, we'll bring it at the next meeting, and if there's any other suggestions or discussion, we'll bring that forward as well.
Thank you.
Okay, tonight being a work session, we've got a couple of great discussion topics and presentations, as well as staff reports, and then I'm going to come back up at the end with a number of superintendent reports with some really good information on some of our academic data that has just come in. But let me introduce these, and then we'll go through them as we get to them on the agenda. We're going to start this meeting, as we have other work sessions of this year, with our Inspire School Spotlight. This will be Riverside Middle School, and I'll ask Dr. Kristen Carroll to introduce the folks that are here with us and the school when we get to that point. Really excited about our update on the Discovery Center of the CSRA. We had a lot of discussion on this over the last couple of years, but we hadn't talked as much lately, and things are going extremely well. We'll ask our Executive Director of Curriculum and Instruction, Dr. Campbell, to introduce that and bring forward some visitors that work really hard to make that center a success. Then Dr. Campbell will continue with staff reports. We're very proud of our academic curriculum for excellence. That has been quite a labor of love for the last couple of years. And I know we talk about it in this forum, but it really happens at the teacher level. We have teacher teams that make that happen. Dr. Campbell's going to tell you a little bit about that. And we also have a teacher with us that's going to help us understand what it's all about. And then I'll be back up for superintendent reports. So let's move on to the Inspire School Spotlight. And I'll turn it over to Dr. Carroll. Thank you all for all your hard work on these presentations. We're looking forward to it.
Good evening. It's my pleasure this evening to share an exciting initiative for the second month that we've launched in Columbia County School District. Each month we're spotlighting schools that are inspiring achievement. This celebration is not only about the innovative programs and impactful initiatives happening in our schools, it's also about the dedicated educators and staff who bring learning to life and foster growth in our students every day. Tonight we are proud to shine a light on Riverside Middle School, where a strong commitment to academic excellence and student success is creating a culture of achievement. We'll begin with a short video that highlights the incredible work happening at Riverside. Following that, you'll hear directly from Principal Eli Putnam and teachers Alicia Roberts and Belinda Flanders, who will share how their efforts are making meaningful differences in the lives of students.
So we've really been prepared to see Anchorage gains in math and social studies, and we're very proud of that. It's taken a lot of hard work and a lot of great effort by not only our students but our teachers. Particularly literacy, we spread that out amongst our other subject areas and really kind of taken that burden off of our ability teachers. It's really a responsibility of all of our subject areas, all of our teachers, to teach our students literacy techniques, and by doing so, we see gains across the board, and I really attribute that to that literacy piece.
What makes Riverside stand out in my mind is seeing how we truly are a team and we collaborate. It isn't my students, but our students. We collaborate pretty much daily instead of weekly, and what's working and what's not. Our science teachers work really closely with us in math, and so we have a lot of cross-curricular activities that are going on, and the students know that we are communicating.
One thing that we really focus on here at Riverside is the vertical and the horizontal planning. But one thing that we really pride ourselves on is the cross-content. So we may introduce something in ELA, but the kids are going to see it again in their science class or their social studies class time. So it's really cool to see how interactive not only 6th, 7th, and 8th grade is, not only how much within a content, but across contents in all disciplines.
Collaboration is a huge part of our culture. It has been for years. Our teachers, they really rely on each other. They're the experts. They learn from each other, and because of that, they're constantly looking for ways to improve, just across the board. And that collaborative piece has just been a key to all of our teachers. Love to collaborate. It's the expectation.
The past few years, we've been implementing the ACE case, and this year, Georgia actually got new standards in ELA. So we kind of had to rework everything, and we have committees that work on the ACE case specifically to adapt to those new standards. And it's been really neat to really break those down and break those apart.
So we have the instructional guides that we use, and a lot of time was spent creating those, and there's a lot of wonderful resources in there. I was able to be part of that. We're very intentional of what we put in there and looking at the standards, verbiage and the standards, and making sure that we're one of the resources that are going to do that. We use iReady, textbook, and the online pieces of it. And so we really try to make sure that we are applying everyday life and connecting it to the real world.
And we're really looking in fine-tune all of our standards and making sure we're hitting all of these points and rehitting all of these points, and we're working with the team to do that. You're going to see growth. You're going to see progress. You're going to see more motion.
Seeing this growth it just makes me very excited and very proud of what my teachers have been able to accomplish and our students have been able to accomplish.
We're going to hear from Mr. Putnam, Ms. Roberts, and Ms. Flanders now.
First of all, thank you for inviting us here tonight. Thank you, Dr. Flynn, Dr. Carroll. I'm very excited about what we are doing at Riverside Middle School. I want to, first of all, just point out to thank members of our staff who are here supporting us tonight. They are the reason that I'm inspired by what they do to get our students to make these amazing gains that they've made over the last few years. How do I make this? Sorry. Okay. Yeah, stand up. Okay, that'd be great. Thank you. One of the big reasons and a common theme that you've heard over and over again in our video is collaboration. And I am very thankful, and our teachers are, first of all, that we have the resources available to us to really allow us to collaborate in a meaningful way. And what I mean by that is collaboration has always been what is expected at Riverside Middle School. Long before I was there, long before many of our teachers were there, that has been the culture at Riverside Middle School. Now we have tools such as the ACE case, the instructional guide, which allow our teachers to, first of all, look at the standards, have access to resources. They can now spend more time talking about instructional strategies that are going to be effective in the classroom instead of looking for those resources and really trying to pull from those standards. They know the standards, they know what resources are available, and they can really have that laser focus that they may not have been able to have years ago due to spending so much time looking for resources, because now those are readily available to them. When I go into a collaborative planning, or when Ms. Odom and I go into a collaborative planning, we hear discussion revolving around how are we going to teach this? What techniques are we going to use? Furthermore, we hear a lot of discussion around data. We, years ago, when I first started, I don't remember having the availability of data that we have now. Now our teachers sit down and they look at data, they analyze the data, and they can tell you exactly how each individual student is doing on that day and where they are in relation to the standard. And that is something I think that it makes our school so successful, is they know each individual student, their strengths, their weaknesses, and then they develop a plan for that individual student and how and follow that plan and help them become successful. And that is truly inspirational to see, and it's something special for Riverside. We do call Riverside, because we are the Eagles, we call it the nest. Riverside is the nest, and the nest is a great place to be. And one reason is because of the culture and the people that are inside of that nest. And I'm going to let our teachers also talk about not only our academic achievement and some of the ways that we've made that achievement, but also the culture that we have at our school. And really, I think those are some of the keys to our success, is the culture that has been at our school and continues to grow at our school. So Ms. Roberts, I'm going to turn it over to you.
So our nest, we focus on improving academic achievement. We use data-driven lessons with small group instruction, jigsaws, and tickets out the door. We like to have daily chats with our students. They know their daily milestone scores. They know where they stand with high-rated diagnostics. Help them make goals so they can achieve those later through the year. We have common assessments that we use through all content. That way we know where our students stand. We have student self-reporting sheets so that they know where they are and where they need to get. In all these ways, we help to structure activities that best meets their needs and help with achievement.
My name is Coach Flanders. It's Phoebe Flanders, but to the kids at school, it's Coach. And one of the things that I'm going to do tonight is I'm going to draw in and talk about our culture, but I'm going to draw an analogy naturally as an ELA teacher and a coach. I'm going to talk about football a little bit. I like to think about Riverside like a football team. We are the Eagles, and we work together. And sometimes we're 4th and 20, and sometimes we're 4th and goal. And we have to think to ourselves, are we going to go for the field goal? are we going to go for it? And that's exactly what our teachers do at Riverside. We really work together. The collaboration, it's just natural. It's became natural. And the thing is that we care about each other too. We care about our students, but we care about other contents, and that is a key. That is the special key. But more than anything, and this is athletically speaking, and I'm speaking in an analogy, we're competitive. We're competitive within our classrooms, our kids are competitive with each other, we're competitive amongst grade levels, and most importantly, it's our human nature. We're competitive school to school. And the thing is that it's a healthy competitiveness that we have. And that makes everyone better because everyone knows that iron sharpens iron, right? And just like in SEC, we want to be the best conference that there is. Columbia County is the best county in Georgia. And how do we do that? We do it school to school, within our school, and all the way down into our classrooms. And that's one of the things that Riverside prides themselves on, is that we work not only within our classrooms, but our content level, our grade level, vertically amongst the grades, and then again, in comparison with the other schools, not to be better than one another, but to spur each other on to be the best that we can be. And I have no doubt that with that mentality that Columbia County is going to rise to #1.
How's the transfer portal?
Schools, yeah, y'all have money though. Thank you, Ms. Roberts and Coach Flanders. And absolutely right, we don't punt, we go for it every time. And that is part of the key to success, and it is making sure that we do have that laser focus. And as far as the competitiveness goes, Coach Flanders is absolutely right. I'm telling you, the day after we're done with benchmarks or Georgia milestones, I have teachers at the door. How did the other schools do it? You gotta give it a week, guys. It's not that instantaneous, but it's a great, healthy competition, and I think any of the other middle school principals would come up here and tell you the same thing, that it is a healthy competition. We push each other, we want to make each other better, and that's not just the culture at the school, but I think that's the culture in our district, and I'm very thankful for that. And what I've seen over the last few years is that culture that we have with our teachers is trickling down to our students, and you see that because the students are now coming to me the minute they're done with Georgia milestones and the minute they're done with the benchmarks, and they want to know how they did in comparison to the other schools, and I love that because they want to be the best that they can possibly be, and they're pushing each other, and we see that every day in the classroom, and it makes a big difference. Finally, just one other thing, at Riverside, our academics are extremely important. It's at the forefront. We really want our students to enjoy middle school, because middle school's hard. It's tough. And I want our students to come to school every day, and they're excited to be there. So we do things like our house system, which has been around for a little while. House parties, house competitions. We have quite a bit of clubs. Robotics this year is taken off. Cyber Patriot's huge. So all of these things, it just makes it a place where students want to come every day. I was actually sitting with some of our retired teachers a little while ago, and one of them turned around and she said, "Oh, you're from Riverside Middle School?" She said, "My grandson," I think it was grandson, goes there, and he was so nervous the first day, but he absolutely loves it. He says it's so much fun. He wishes they had recess, but it's so much fun. And so she was just, talking about how he enjoys the school, and that's what I love to hear, and that's what we all love to hear, and that's, I think, what makes Riverside such a great place, and why we all love being in the nest. So thank you for your time, and thank you for the opportunity to lead Riverside Middle School.
I love the football analogy. What did you do better about football? No, thank you all so much.
All right, well, good evening. So as Dr. Flint said, we have invited special guests to speak with you this evening. Leaders from the Junior Achievement Discovery Center of the CSRA are here to share the program's impact on students not only in our district, but across the CSRA. So tonight we have with us Tiffany Palmer, Manager of Education, right here. And then we also have Mr. Tim Beeman, who I'm sure is a familiar face to you, Director of Discovery Experience. And then also Ms. Brianna Boyles, she's the Senior Director of the Discovery Experience. So I'll turn it over to them to share this information. Thank y'all for being here.
Thank you so much, Dr. Campbell. It is a pleasure to be with you all this evening to express our sincere appreciation for the invaluable partnership we shared with Columbia County Schools over the past 3 years. This collaboration has made a profound impact on thousands of students across the CSRA, and we are deeply grateful for the continued support of the Columbia County School District. We are especially thankful to Dr. Flint for his visionary leadership in bringing the Junior Achievement Program to our region. Our purpose at the Junior Achievement Discovery Center is to inspire young people to succeed in a global economy. The students we serve participate in a 17-lesson financial literacy curriculum in the classroom, culminating in an on-site visit to the Junior Achievement Discovery Center. Our center is designed to reflect the local community with storefronts and landmarks that help students envision themselves as future professionals in their own neighborhoods. How do we do this? We do this through our long-standing partnership between Junior Achievement and the Columbia County School District, which allows students to develop skills and motivate them to thrive. We have 3 capstone programs: JA BizTown, JA Finance Park, and JA Finance Park Advance. Junior Achievement creates truly authentic learning experiences for over 12,000 middle school and high school students in our area each year. At the Discovery Center, we offer 3 dynamic experiential learning programs. JA BizTown serves 6th graders, and through this program, students interact within a simulated economy and take on the challenge of running a business for the day. In Junior Achievement Finance Park, the entry level serves 7th grade students, and the advanced level serves 11th and 12th grade students through the economics and/or personal finance curriculum. These students in the Finance Park program are assigned a life situation, which could mean they are married for the day, or they have children, or they also have a real job with real pay in our community. They are assigned a credit score as well, and they are able to simulate making this household budget and budgeting their expenses throughout several categories. In fiscal year 2025, we were able to impact over 13,000 students with over 262,000 hours of instruction, including the on-site experience. Since opening in January 2024, we've impacted over 10,000 Columbia County students and over 21,000 students in the CSRA. And that's a very short time to have impacted so many students. Here, we see some of the student and teacher outcomes of our programs. Students believe the experience relates to their class curriculum. After completing the simulation, they believe they can make a difference when they grow up. They learn the value of setting SMART goals, their confidence increases, and they gain a greater understanding of the importance of financial literacy. Teachers agree that the JA curriculum aligns with the Georgia Standards of Excellence. They witness their students being engaged in an extraordinary way, and after participating in the program, they say they would recommend the program to other educators. While the numbers here tell a beautiful story, the true impact of our work is found in the personal transformations we witness every day. For example, one day we had 2 students who were receiving special education services, and they took on the roles of CEO and CMO in JA BizTown. They discovered new possibilities for their future, and they redefined their self-perception. We recently witnessed a high school senior and budding entrepreneur inspire his peers to think beyond the present during our Career Clusters Fair and Finance Park Advanced. And every day we hear from countless 7th graders who have gained a deeper appreciation for their families, because they now understand the real-life financial decisions that parents make, like choosing groceries over designer shoes. These moments illustrate the power of connecting classroom learning to real-world experiences, and they are only possible because of your partnership. When we opened our doors in January of 2024, we only served Richmond County and Columbia County 6th and 7th grades. Thanks to your support, our reach now extends beyond Columbia and Richmond counties to include Burke, Jenkins, McDuffie, Warren, and Wilkes counties. We also serve 4 private schools, and we also have a dedicated homeschool program to service our homeschool students in our area. We're happy to have 2 Columbia County students representing our under 19 student recognition program. We have Lucas Beasley representing Greenbrier Middle School in the class of 2024. And we have Emerson Smith in the class of 2025, who is a 2025 graduate of Lakeside High School. We'd also like to acknowledge that Dr. Flint is now one of our state board of directors. So we're happy about that as well. Our expectations for the current school year include operating for 126 days, with approximately half of those days dedicated to Columbia County schools. We anticipate serving up to 14,000 students, and we couldn't do it without you. So thank you so much for your time, your partnership, and your commitment to the future of our students. At this time, we welcome any questions and comments you may have.
I want to jump in. My daughter actually went for the first time this year, and I think she was a doctor or something, but she came home and made a joke and said, "Man, that's a lot of college debt." So we laughed about that, and it's one of those things that she knows college debt, but it was just different when she saw it factored into paying bills and everything like that. So it's amazing to me the range of students that you hear bits and pieces from, that it's not just the ones who've never thought about finances, it's the ones that have been trained in finances, and it's different when you look at it in the context of here's how much I make, here's all my other bills. I think she has some kids in there that she was assigned to, and so we had some good conversations. So thank you for that. I just wanted to share that, personally, we've had a great experience with the JA. And I did just have a quick question. So I know this is a nonprofit, right? JA is nonprofit. Is it fully funded through our business partnerships, or does the district help fund the operations a little bit, or how do we keep this going for future generations?
We made an agreement with Junior Achievement of Georgia to help fund the building of the facility, and they operate it fully with donations from businesses and volunteers. We do ask some of our district folks to help volunteer, and we give them 1 day to do that each year.
Well, that's awesome that all those business partnerships come in so that we can keep this going, and it's not, at a cost us that the businesses jump in and see that value of it. So that, to me, makes it even better. But thank y'all for.
Ms. Bowman, how are y'all doing on volunteers, and what does someone need to, how do they volunteer to help at the Junior Achievement Service?
Thank you for asking. Generally, we have 18 storefronts within the site, and generally we want at least 1 volunteer for each storefront every day. Volunteerism has been a little low this year, mainly because we started with high school, and I'm sure you all have also seen where volunteerism is a little kind of like pulling teeth for those high schools, but it has picked up a little bit since we've entered the 7th grade program. We will take every volunteer who registers, And my contact information is on the screen. You can contact myself and I'll get you in contact with our Director of Volunteer Partnerships who can get you registered for the day. We have Riverside coming on November 17th and 18th. So, but we, definitely wanted to shout them out as well as a school partner.
I'm just like brainstorming right now, but if you have a school that's going to be coming at a certain time, I would suggest asking the principal to reach out to the PTA and say, hey, your kid's going to be there.
Yes.
You already do that?
We do. Yes, thank you.
That's great.
And you can find volunteer too.
Yeah, I can.
You all can, by the way.
Yes. Ms. Teasley is one of our regulars at the Discovery Center for Volunteerism, and we have several others who come. We see them almost every day, so we have a special place for them in our hearts.
A lot of people don't know that Ms. Teasley is cloned, and there are actually 5 of them because they're.
I'm not there every day.
So thank you very much for the presentation. Thank you for what y'all are contributing to our community. I think it's a great program to introduce and teach financial literacy and promote careers. So keep up the good work.
I just happened to be at Grovetown Middle School this morning, and they were just abuzz about coming. So the students get really excited about that. They got, I think, the next 3 days. So they're all pretty excited about it. It's great to see. Thank you for all y'all do.
Thank you so much.
Me again. I'm excited. All right, so I'm going to get to provide you an overview of the updates our teachers and specialists have developed to enhance the ACE curriculum resources for teachers in grades K through 12. So, over the summer, curriculum specialists collaborated with teacher committees to develop additional resources and enhance alignment of resources to the ACE curriculum. Elementary committees revised assessments in grades 3 through 5 based on the implementation of new ELA standards this school year. Additionally, middle and high school teachers reviewed benchmark assessment data to determine which areas of instructional guides needed additional resources. The review process improved the alignment of the benchmark assessments to the resources within the instructional guides. ELA resources within the K-12 instructional guides were updated to reflect the new ELA standards that were implemented this school year. Lastly, the ACE Case Curriculum Hub, which contains all curriculum resources, was moved to a new platform in Canvas. And we have received overwhelmingly positive feedback from teachers about the updated look and the user-friendly interface of Canvas. This evening, we're going to take a quick look or a quick tour of ACE Case so you can see why teachers are excited about the new Columbia County Curriculum Hub for ACE Case. So, once you're logged in, teachers see the homepage for our Curriculum Hub. Teachers have the option to select the level of resources they want to review or select the district's instructional framework. For presentation purposes, we're going to enter ACE Case as a middle school teacher. Once you click on the level, in this case, middle school, teachers can then select the grade level they would like to explore. Once the grade level is selected, in this case, 6th grade, teachers have the option to view resources from any subject area. For demonstration purposes, we're going to be a 6th grade English Language Arts teacher. After the teacher selects the subject area, teachers can view the year at a glance, the scope and sequence, or additional teacher resources. Teachers also have the option to explore the instructional guides for each quarter. So let's take a look at quarter 1 resources. The 6th grade ELA teacher now has an extensive list of resources: assessment guides, instructional guides, benchmark blueprints, and proxy items, which are higher level sample assessment items that teachers use during instruction to help students better understand how to approach rigorous assessment items. But let's go take a look at the Quarter 1 assessment guide and then the instructional guide. This is a sample of an assessment guide that lists the standards, the learning focus, the prerequisite skills, and the performance expectations. Teachers use the performance expectations to ensure the assessments they develop align to the standard and to the rigor of the standard. Additionally, performance expectations are used to create instruction plans so that students are prepared to be successful on the assessments. The verbs are highlighted to emphasize the actions students must use to demonstrate mastery of that particular standard. This is a sample of an instructional guide in 6th grade ELA. The standards and key vocabulary are provided. Hyperlinks for primary instructional resources are easily accessible and provide reading resources and flexible grouping resources. And at the top, teachers can easily access the year at a glance, the scope and sequence, the assessment guide, and curriculum essentials. A feedback link is also provided for teachers to provide immediate feedback anytime throughout the year. The instructional guides are fluid documents because we will always continue to enhance the resources based on teacher feedback and assessment data so that teachers have the highest quality resources available when instructing students. Parents can access curriculum guides on the district website under the Teaching and Learning tab. The parent curriculum guides are available for all course subjects grades K through 12 and provide parents an overview of the course and skills students should be able to master by the end of the course. As you can see on the left, the middle school page provides parents an option to select a grade level. And additionally, there's a link that parents can use to provide feedback on our ACE curriculum. On the right, you will see a sample parent curriculum guide for English Language Arts, grade 6. And at this time, I get to introduce Ms. Laura Griffin, Harlem High School chemistry teacher. She's going to share with you her role in developing the ACE case resources for chemistry and how she uses the resources to develop instructional plans.
Good evening. My name is Laura Griffin. Tonight I will speak about my experience with ACE Case from the perspective of a teacher and from the perspective of someone who has had the pleasure of serving on the ACE curriculum team for chemistry for the past 4 years, as well as the Chemistry Benchmark Committee. When first developing the ACE curriculum guide for chemistry, I thought back to my first year as a teacher and the many late nights I endured creating new resources for my students. While the internet can provide a wealth of resources, as a new teacher, I quickly realized that these materials are unvetted and often do not align with the needs of my students, the scope of our standards, or the level of rigor that I desired. Within the ACE instructional guides, we provide primary instructional resources arranged by topic and level of rigor, allowing teachers the ability to select the materials most appropriate for their students and adapt them to fit their specific needs and goals. Other helpful components that we include are the teacher notes where experienced teachers can warn of the common pitfalls and misconceptions they have encountered in the past with their own students, as well as additional tips for how to best teach a topic. One of the most impactful aspects of working on the ACE curriculum team has been the opportunity to collaborate with other teachers from around the district. The information I have gained and strategies I have learned are invaluable, and we have done our best to include the insights from these conversations in the teacher notes for each topic. Our most recent initiative for improving chemistry education in our district is the creation of a chemistry lab development team. Our goal is to create, test, and refine a set of district-wide lab experiments that we believe all students should be exposed to while enrolled in a chemistry course. Our purpose with this initiative is to ensure our students are well prepared for any advanced chemistry course they may encounter in the future, as well as to ensure that all new chemistry teachers are supported in their implementation of lab work. To ensure our students are adequately prepared for upper level chemistry coursework, we have been meeting with Augusta University's Chemistry Department Chair, Dr. Guido Verbeck. Our most recent professional development day, our team had the opportunity to visit Augusta University, meet with professors of chemistry to discuss chemistry education, and participate in laboratory training and data analysis sessions. This was truly one of the best professional development opportunities in which I have participated. To conclude, I believe ACE Case to be an invaluable resource for both new and experienced teachers in the district. The assessment guides provide clarity in the planning of instruction and the development of assessments. The instructional guides supply a wealth of resources for teachers, whether they are teaching a lesson for the first time or just looking for something new to engage and enrich their students. The benchmarks allow for teachers to gauge the progress of their students and to reflect and improve on their instruction. I feel very honored to have been chosen to work on a team with so many other amazing chemistry teachers. At every meeting, it is evident how much these teachers care about their students and the quality of education that they receive. ACE Case has helped me to become a better teacher, and it is my hope that the work we have put into this curriculum will continue to help both new and experienced teachers for years to come. Thank you.
That looks like too much fun to be staff development, so you know.
We made slime. It was great.
Thank you, Ms. Griffin, for all the work you're doing at HHS.
Thank you. Can I ask one question as far as the ACE curriculum? How does it flow for like advanced AP chemistry, or is that?
So I am both, I teach regular level chemistry and I teach AP chemistry, and that was something I worked on this summer with another AP chemistry teacher, where we actually wrote into ACE Case because we differentiate by level. So for our higher level, anywhere we saw an opportunity for teachers to be exposing first-year chemistry students to content that would help them at the AP level, we specifically wrote it into ACE Case so that teachers could kind of judge the level of their students and what they're prepared for, and figure out ways that they could start to put some of that more advanced level chemistry into a first-year course.
Another,
You say, sorry, go ahead.
no, go ahead, Susan. Another question I had, I mean, it seems to really make sense to me, and it seems like there's even been a place to kind of incorporate feedback to make it well-rounded. Have you heard any sort of feedback against this program, or, I mean, is everybody pretty well on board with this as a good way?
I know at my school we seem very well on board. I think a big thing is just good communication, and I think that's happening within our PLCs that we have at our schools. So typically every teacher group should have a teacher representative on their ACE team. So I know for me, Harlem's a smaller school, so it's only me and one other chemistry teacher, but we talk very closely about everything we're doing, and if there is something that this other teacher believes should be a part of ACE Case, I am able to then bring that to the group, and we can include that. So I think it's good communication will continue to improve these documents and make sure that they're beneficial to everyone.
And then my last question, and then I'll yield to Ms. Teasley. Is this transferable? So if you were to switch schools, or if any teacher, please don't, but if any teacher were to switch schools, is it transferable to what you would be teaching? You know, chemistry at Harlem High School would be equivalent to chemistry at Lakeside High School.
Within the district, yes, that is our goal with these, is to make sure, so we have a scope and sequence, so every school should be around the same pacing. Of course, there's going to be slight differences just with the needs of the school, but I have seen, in past years when we did not have these ACE guides, I would get a student from another school and they could be at a completely different point and be trying to catch up. But that should not be happening anymore, and I think that's a great benefit, that everyone should be at the same pace and they should be learning the same level of rigor and preparation for those benchmarks. Thank you.
I heard you said that the information can be accessed by topic and level of rigor. Is there, or are there needs for, we used to call it interdisciplinary, I understand y'all call it cross curriculum now. Is there a way to do that so that possibly whatever you might be addressing in chemistry, you could find if there's another way to see how that might be applicable in language arts or in social studies? Is that available in ACE Case?
Yes, so in our instructional guides, we do include areas for cross-curriculum. So we include ELA standards that could be addressed. Speaking from a chemistry perspective, a lot of our standards are going to overlap with what they're doing in math classes. So we try to put either what prior knowledge students should have coming in or what cross-curricular concepts that you should be reinforcing during the units.
And thank you, Dr. Campbell, too. Thank you. I know there's so much more. Thank you as well, too.
Thank you.
I don't think I have to say this, but wow, we just have some absolutely incredible people in the district. And there's so many, we have great ones that showed up tonight, but there's so many other people that are putting their time and their efforts into this. And you can see that through the presentations. And so kudos to y'all, good job. It was really well done. And I know there's a lot of work left to do. But the cool thing about, especially as we talk about some of the curriculum pieces, at the same time our people are involved in that, that becomes a real and active type of professional learning, not just to sit and get on professional learning. They're actually involved in creating something. It's going to help other teachers, and it's going to help them too. So kudos to everybody on that. And I get to come up and provide some superintendent reports and show you a little bit of really good news. Now, we try to do this on the academic achievement at other levels. You've seen it at other meetings. Tonight's is extremely strong. And I think that's in large part due to what's happening in our schools and what we just heard from a number of our employees and support staff. So the 2025 ACT results were recently released. We're excited to announce that our composite score increased from a 22.2 in 2024 to 22.9 in 2025. Additionally, we ranked 5th in the state among districts with 200 or more test takers. So there's kind of that list that you can see there. And you know, one of the things we always, and even in the other results we're going to look at, we look at are we testing more students? Because you could limit the number of test takers to the high achievers and probably get a whole lot better result. But we want to do both. We want more students involved in the higher level courses, and then we want higher scores. And so that's happening out in our schools. We also have some really exciting news, and we took this back to 2021. This is something the board's been involved with for many years, and the numbers have not disappointed in the last few years. So congratulations to our schools. Our students are scoring a 3 or higher on AP exams for the 5th year in a row, and you can see that top number of 78%. In 5 years, our high schools have increased the percentage of students scoring a 3 or higher by 23%, while also increasing the number of exams being taken by 39%. I mean, it's just really, really some incredible work out there. Typically, we do see the number of exams increase. Scores can take a dip, but we've bucked that trend. Each year, the College Board recognizes AP Scholars, which is based on the scores and number of AP exams taken in 2025 and previous years. AP Scholars must score a 3 or higher on 3 or more exams. AP Scholars with honor must score an average of 3.25 and score 3 or higher on 4 or more exams. An AP Scholar with distinction must score an average of 3.5 and score 3 or higher on 5 or more exams. So you can kind of see how that goes. Increases all along the way with the number of exams and the scores. We're proud to announce that, again, we've significantly increased the total scholars from 552 in 2023 to 954 in 2025. Additionally, the AP Capstone Diploma is awarded to students that score a 3 or higher in AP Seminar, Research, and 4 additional AP exams, and we've increased that number of AP diplomas from 47 in 23 to 73 in 25. Additionally, and y'all will know this, the last couple of years we've seen increases in the course offerings. We've been trying to promote those across the district. We're continuing to do that with the number of advanced placement courses available to students. So to enhance our cybersecurity pathway, 4 of our high schools applied to pilot AP Cyber Networking this school year, and the College Board has selected all 4 that applied to participate. We're also excited to further enhance the pathway and offer AP Cybersecurity next school year, and that'll be obviously with student interest. So if they get enough students signed up, we'll be able to sign the students up for that. College Board has developed a new course, AP Business with Personal Finance, that will be available to our schools next year as well, very similarly. We look forward to our students taking and excelling in all of those courses. If you're interested, we're working on AP and Business with Personal Finance. We'll also be able to take their trip to the Discovery Center, the CSRA, for that advanced work. And so we're continuing to work in those areas. So Dr. Campbell and staff that you're working with on that, kudos to you and the schools for making that happen. Last week, we celebrated National Bus Safety Week. And this is a time of year to recognize our incredible school bus drivers. School bus safety is always something our dedicated bus drivers focus on as they travel more than 3 million miles annually, safely transporting students to and from school. We want to thank you, our school bus drivers, and our amazing transportation department staff for all the great work that they do to promote safety on and around our school buses. And we have really made some great improvements this year. Please continue to share all that great work with all of our drivers, and thanks for all that you do. This concludes, Chairman, this portion of the meeting. I'd be happy to take any questions. We do have some items for executive session when we get to that point.
Sure, Dr. Flynn, could you just outline, I know it was in our board notes that we received, but can you outline the process for completing the bond sales and what some of those dates are? Because I believe we're voting next meeting, correct?
We'll be presenting this week to Moody's and Standard & Poor's. We'll be getting the ratings back from them within a week or two from that point. From there, there's some documents that have to be processed from legal. We'll be doing the competitive sale the morning of the board meeting. We'll bring that to you for approval that evening, assuming everything goes well. And then there'll be some ratification efforts after that from the Board of Commissioners.
Is there a reason why we put them for sale and then ratify? Is it essentially that it's finalized at this point where we're putting them for sale, or will there be another discussion and a vote?
That allows us to get the most competitive rate, and if it's not that competitive, then we wouldn't do the sale, but it won't be approved until, and that's part of the requirement for any sale, and typically that's how that works. You try to get your best price, and then it could be the next day. It happens to be we're able to do it the day of the board meeting, so we don't have a delay. You all will be able to see that information that night, and if you don't like it, you don't have to approve it.
And my last question was, have we looked at 7- and 10-year term options to see what that interest would look like, to maybe bring it down from that 100 million mark down to something a little bit?
We used a number of external folks and advisors to come up with the current plan that we've already presented y'all.
Okay, so we're sticking with that 20-year plan then?
Yes.
Okay.
I'd like to make the motion that we adjourn the executive session to discuss legal, personnel, and other matters.
All in favor, raise your hand.
Thank you.
At this time, we'll go to executive session, ladies and gentlemen.
She wants to make sure you know it's time for work tomorrow.
I didn't recognize those legs when you were here.
Back in session, ladies and gentlemen.
Okay, Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make a motion that you execute an affidavit in accordance with state law, affirming that no subject was discussed during executive session that would violate the open meetings law of the state of Georgia. Please, sir.
All in favor, raise your right hand. That's approved. Sign the affidavit.
Okay, I'll make a motion that the personnel sheet is discussed in executive session be approved.
All in favor, raise your right hand. All right, personnel sheet is approved.
I'll make a motion right here.
Second?
All in favor, raise your right hand. We are adjourned. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.